Back in Phuket, we've been grinding, kind of revisiting things. The other day, we did a nice little exercise to kind of go over our ICP, who exactly our ideal customer profile is, and I think now we could honestly describe them as if they were an actual like avatar, like a real person. So that was really good because now it kind of shifts the way that we view things, and it's the smallest differences that make the biggest impact, right? Like for example, if you're making videos and they're already good, like they're already like getting views and stuff, it's just changing like a couple different words and the targeting and the b-roll, like all the little things that people overlook end up making the biggest difference. And I think that this alone will really help the way that we kind of speak directly to who we want to work with, in whether it be email, outbound, LinkedIn messages, or just our content ourselves, itself. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And you've been doing a lot of reps in the content, which is much appreciated, taking on that kind of more of the content, let's say. But yeah, I mean, we look back at one of the videos you filmed earlier and it was already like 10 times better, and that was maybe the fourth or fifth time you've actually filmed.
Yeah.
Maybe. And so yeah, I mean, in another week or two they'll be banging.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully, yeah. No, it's just been such a weird thing getting back into like being in front of camera, because like I did a little bit in high school, like I did a little bit of acting growing up and this kind of stuff, but it's just weird. Like I don't know, I think it's also because I'm such a perfectionist and I really want to say everything that's like like I want the information to get put across like super clearly, and I think I over obsess with like over explaining things because I want to make sure that it's like super clear. Because the other thing too is I'm also so excited about what we're working on and the results that we've gotten for some of our clients, that like I want people to know like this thing that we're doing is working so well that we're getting these kinds of results. Like of course I want to explain it, and then it like becomes a slippery slope where I start yapping too much, like these birds over here.
Yeah, I'm just glad that you're the one pushing through it, to be honest. I mean, the VSL, the one that's on the website, we've had a couple feedback sessions on that, and we've got some areas for improvement, but I think the next one that you do is you know where to improve on, and it's going to be 10 times better.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Yeah,
I think ultimately as well, one of the things that matters most is like the way that you say something. Like if you ask any like what's it called, communication expert or body language person, or like even the FBI negotiator guy, Chris Voss, or any comedian, it's like if they break it down to percentage, which I don't think it's an exact science, but it's more so to get an idea, it's like 80% of like how like the way you carry yourself and the way that you say something. And so one of the things that like I heard as feedback was that somebody told me that I look like I hate my life when I'm doing the VSL, which I mean, in fairness, like it's not that's absolutely not the case, but I was just like really tired and I was just like, I want to get this done. And I was so prioritized on getting the job done rather than actually focusing on making it good. And so now the main thing that I've been working on is just getting the energy in the videos good, like just having like positive energy, because the other thing is like if somebody's so excited to tell you about something, it makes you more excited as well. And yeah, I mean, I don't think that anybody's gonna want to buy from somebody who looks like they're depressed. So I have to just amp it up a little bit while keeping it authentic, because I do have that energy in real life. It's just when the camera turns on, it's just your mind goes blank, and everything you say, you just forget instantly. So.
And it also feels super uncomfortable, at least for me, and almost forced, because there's not someone there that you're actually talking to. It kind of just feels like you're talking to a wall, and then like, why, if you're talking to the wall, would you enunciate your words and show emotion and that kind of thing? It's just it's super hard to kind of realize that camera represents thousands of millions of people that you could potentially reach online.
Yeah.
And it's just hard to kind of imagine them actually watching the video.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, some people actually do get to a point where they just like feel like they're having a conversation.
Exactly.
And that's kind of what we want to get to eventually.
That's where we want to be.
That is where we want to get to. So yeah, just pushing on the content. Started reading again a little bit, which was good, which actually prompted me to get the exercises that I wanted.
That's where we got them from.
Yeah, really, really cool to actually see that there's a lot of knowledge in books that you can access for relatively cheap. I mean, I don't think I paid more than $15 for that book, and I think that exercise alone could have a pretty measurable impact on our business in the long run. So
yeah, I think so too. And then the tool that we discovered today, because these the recordings for these natives and ad creatives tend to be in the range of like 20 minutes up to like 45, I think one of them was.
Yeah.
But we did a bit of research and we managed to find that tool. I forget the name, I'm blanking on it.
Gling, bro.
Gling. and it just basically edits it all for you. We don't use the captions or any of the cool things. It's just mainly to kind of sequence it. So it's going to take out all the fillers and the pauses and the mistakes, because we tend to say the same thing over and over for minutes on end until we get it right. And this thing basically just takes your raw video, cuts it all up, and it gives you a nice sequence. And then we're going to pass that over to our editors.
Yeah.
And get a really clean edit, and then hopefully we'll get them up sort of next week sort of time.
Yeah.
And speaking of editors, do you want to maybe explain a bit about the new member of the team?
Yeah, so we onboarded a new member of the team today after, doing a few interviews here and there, and it's going to be, it's really exciting. It's always cool, like, working with someone new, just because it kind of just adds, like, a new, fresh element to the work, and then it's also nice to just see, like, where things can go with this person, and if they have different capacity or bring different angles, like, to the table, too.
That's a big one.
Also, because, like, every time we work with someone new, we learn something, like, additional to our process that we can make better. And so today, when I was, like, walking him through the spreadsheet and all that, actually nothing came to mind from my side to, like, improve it.
Yeah.
But obviously it's going to take him some time to get oriented to it, and if he has any feedback, it'd be cool to work on that. And then this is also good because now we have, like, our output capacity has increased, so we're basically primed, ready to sign on some new clients, which kind of works hand in hand with all the efforts we're doing with the organic content and then the eventual paid content as well. But I was just like, it makes perfect sense. Now we have this guy, we have some time to kind of get a feel for him, so that way when we hopefully do sign some clients soon, we won't have to be scrambling looking for an editor, because the last thing we need is to have to overload our team.
Which we've
and then
kind of already done.
Yeah,
so you put together the slide deck originally, didn't you?
Yeah, the very, very nice slide deck, no?
It was okay. I mean, to be fair, it was just like an old template that we kind of had. We just had like a logo at the top and a border. So you filled in all the information. We got some feedback on that as well, and improved on that. Got the content down, and then I went in and just like redesigned it so it's more appealing and a bit more clear to read, because a lot more clear to read, because also the one you used before, you did like a Loom VSL type thing, and so you were able to explain it, but this slide deck that we're making needs to be able to stand on its own.
For sure.
People need to scroll through it and actually get what it is. You can't just put a picture on, there does need to be some kind of text and arrows and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I just went through and pretended I didn't know anything about the business, and I wanted to make sure that everything was clear and concise, and that's exactly what I did. I'm kind of halfway through it, I think, but it should be done by tomorrow.
Yeah.
And ready to go up, because we're going to split test, I think. I don't know, we haven't made a final decision, but the ads, we want to run to 2, maybe 3 different places. We want to test going straight to the call booking type form, the Calendly, a landing page with the VSL, and then the landing page with just the slide deck, and kind of see which one performs best.
Yeah. I do think, though, that the slide deck and the VSL would provide the most qualified leads, though. Because the thing is, if you think about it, somebody watches the ad creative, and then they have, 1 minute and 15 seconds with me. And so some people might be like, oh yeah, like, let me just sign up, which is great. Because right now we don't, like, we're happy to take calls even if they're not fully qualified. But if somebody who actually sits through and watches, like, let's say the VSL 7 minutes, and I actually outline every single part of it, they're going to be more, like, they're going to qualify themselves to see if that's something that actually makes sense for them,
Sure.
And I feel like after watching me explain it for 5 minutes, they're going to know, oh, this isn't like $100 a month thing. Like, this is like an actual investment that I'm making in my business.
Yeah,
so
right.
all the, like, not to be demeaning, but like the cheaper, like the people who don't have the budget for it will just click away because they won't want to do it. So
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, now you said it like that, I think that's probably the right way to look at it.
Yeah. But we'll just have to see, man. At the end of the day, like the whole thing with this as well, it's like until you have like 20 years or 10 years running like ads and you have like a visual feel for what will look like, what will actually perform, the number one thing you always have to do is not put your ego in the way and just like test things and see what works, because at the end of the day it's not you that has to like the ad, it's the end, like the end user, right? And so if nobody's gonna buy from it, like why are you sacrificing your thing just because you think it looks better, right? Like if I could put a picture of me just doing this and we get $10,000 a month from it, I would fucking do it. But obviously that's not gonna work.
No.
So it has to be like a thing where, you know, if you can find a perfect balance between you actually liking it and the ad being performing well, that's good. But you know, just keep like iterating and seeing what works is the best way to go about it. And so
for sure, it's the same thing with the email copy. Like the copy that I think is the best and most concise and I think it's going to perform the best tends to not perform the best, and it's the really crappy copy where it's got like spelling mistakes or that kind of thing that honestly tends to perform better.
These guys are unbearable. I'm actually curious to hear how this sounds afterwards. I feel like it's just gonna sound like there's an ape just screaming in the fucking mic. Just in the background, you're trying to explain something. So if you split to I mean, I might just freeball it now.
Go for
it. I was actually thinking of starting my own channel, like on my own, to just talk about like my individual business lessons and also just like productivity / like mentality things. And the other thing I was thinking about the other day, and even I think it was yesterday or today, but it's like on the days that you feel motivated, everything feels easy and you feel like you can conquer things. And ultimately, it's the days where you really, really, really don't feel like it and your bed just looks so comfortable, or like, you know, you just want to go out and do something else or just watch Netflix or whatever. Those are the days that matter the most. And if you're not able to show up and like actually push through those days, that's going to be the defining factor between whether you make it or not. And the other thing too is when you're having a bad day, like actually trying to find a way to zoom out and to realize that first it's part of the journey, but second that it's completely normal to have to have that. Sorry, that's kind of the same thing, part of the journey, but to actually like find a way to slow down and realize that you can like pull yourself out of it if you don't dig yourself like a hole. Like the other day I was beefing with one of the automation systems we were using, and I was about to throw my phone, like I was just about to smash it. And then you know, I forced myself to take a break, had lunch, and then came back at it with like fresh eyes, and then it was good. Like, and then you just power through, and then you find the next day. And then also just, you know, realizing that you can't win every battle, but you have to try to like play the long game and win the war. Like knowing when to step back, and like if you have a shitty day, the first thing you do is you acknowledge that it's shit. Then you take your foot off the gas a little bit, be a little bit easier on yourself, but don't like just throw everything out the window. Like if, for example, you're having a really garbage day and you have to do like this really, really hard task, if it can be done the day after, start doing like the ancillary stuff. Like, you know, just like chill out a little bit, don't overthink it, like take a step back. And if you have like a good group of friends or people in your life, like talk to them a little bit, and then just come back to it with like fresh eyes. Because if you're like just in there in the mud like looking, sometimes you just need to like look away, and then when you look again, like the fucking diamond is right there. And it was there the whole time. So yeah, no, it's just kind of what I wanted to talk about, because like I was kind of like having a little bit of a rough start to my day, just between that and like a couple other things, and I was like just like really getting frustrated and like demotivated as well, because I think it was like right after we had been reviewing like my content, and obviously the feedback was like given from a place of love, but it wasn't good. Like I knew it intuitively that it was bad, but then having people like tell me like you know, it's not that good, like you have to improve it, was like a thing where I was not upset with anybody, not even myself, because I know that I was just starting out, but it was obviously frustrating to be like, oh fuck, I have to go refilm this now. And it's like this is so much harder than I thought, and like all of that put me like in this negative mindset. And then that like thing with the whole like automation not working kind of started to like piss me off. But then, you know, just like taking some time to like realize that you don't have to figure it out in like that 5-minute window. Just chill, take a break, have some food, go for a walk. Like going for a walk is the most insane thing. And just finding a way to actually not think about it, because like your subconscious will find a way to figure it out, and then you just come back and like it just clicks. It's so weird, but it just clicks.
I mean, for me, if I'm having a bad day, I've kind of realized over the years that life is up and down regardless of what you do and what happens around you. And so if you're having a bad day, like you said, accept that today is a bad day. You're going to feel like shit, power through it. But then you've got to remember that the chances are tomorrow is going to be a really good day, or if it's not tomorrow, it's the day after. Like a good day will always come, just like a bad day will always come. And so just kind of power through, understand that you can't have good days every day.
That's the other thing too, actually. My other philosophy, I'm just gonna keep going, was about conviction. Like the one thing I think that is like the leading factor, I don't remember, but I might be butchering this, but I feel like it's probably true, that determines somebody's success is like their self-belief and their conviction that they're able to actually achieve the goals that they set out to do, right? Because your mind is so powerful, and that if you're not using it to work for you, it's just going to work against you.
Yep.
And the thoughts that you think absolutely impact your life in real life. And the easiest example I can give is, if you're a guy, just think about whatever, gets you excited usually, and you'll physically feel an immediate difference. Or if you want to use something that's a little bit more, let's say, PG, just think about something that makes you angry, and your heart rate will start to go up, and you'll start to sweat and that kind of stuff. So if you're not using those like thoughts to actually, fuel your motivation and to fuel your drive and like your actual work, you're missing a huge component in it. And I feel like there's an element of self-sabotage that can happen if you don't believe that you're worthy enough of getting the thing that you're trying to get. And that's also like another thing that a lot of people have to like relearn, because if you think about it, I think honestly this happens more to intelligent people who haven't been able to like grow up like a lot with money, and they kind of just view themselves like, because they understand a lot of things, they just understand that they feel like they understand that this can't happen to them because it's never happened before. And because they're like so grounded and, let's say, smart, for lack of a better term, they're like, shit, like I can never actually make this much money. Whereas like somebody who's almost like delusional because they're a little bit naive, they don't understand it, like in a way that can be an advantage, because they're like $200,000 in a week, like why not? Like nobody said that, like nobody said that you can't do that. And it's like, ironically, that mindset is what will actually make it work for
Completely.
you. So it's like, it's just like finding that like balance, and like between having like strong conviction and delusion is good. But I think that if you self-delude yourself in a way that actually makes you more productive and like more driven, it's not necessarily like a bad thing. Like as long as you're not causing any harm to yourself or others, it's completely fine. And then it also kind of goes back to the other thing, like not every day you're going to feel as confident in yourself as you do some days, right? And it's in those days where you have to really look back at like your bigger, like your mission as a whole, and think like, am I like, do I really think that this thing as a whole is going to work? And if you haven't fundamentally found a flaw in your vision, then there's no reason for you to like just take a bad day and like hit the domino and just let it spiral out of control, because it's really easy to happen. Like it happens so easily when you just start thinking like, fuck, like this isn't working, then if that doesn't work, then this isn't going to work, and then all this is going to fail. And if you let yourself go down that path, like you're gonna spin out, and it's a dangerous road to go down.
Especially, I think, as an entrepreneur, because you don't have, typically you don't have people around you on the same mission with the same risk that you have as well. Like working in a company, you have a bad day, whatever, you still get paid at the end of the month. Whereas us, the little things, they domino into, oh no, I lost a client, oh no, I'm not gaining a new client, oh no, I'm gonna have no money this month, next month, in the year, like I'm gonna have no money in a year. So like little things as an entrepreneur especially can domino into huge limiting beliefs.
It's because like you feel everything, like the volatility of it all. Like if you have like a standard job at a Fortune 500 company, not even like a good, like if McDonald's, like if you're a freaking waiter there, or a server, whatever they're called, like your job security is pretty much stable. Like as long as you're not throwing French fries at the customers, you're probably gonna remain hired until like eventually robots will take over. But that's like a conversation that's not really relevant. So in terms of that, like yes, you have ups and downs within the work, and it's still hard work. There's no doubt about that. But in terms of like the impacts, like if McDonald's has like a 3% loss in revenue growth from quarter to quarter, nobody's job security is really at risk there. Like unless they have like a huge budget cut, they're going to start with like the people who are least important, which are going to be the people that work in the stores, because they'll just hire the minimum amount of people required to actually upkeep the store. But when you're doing everything on your own, you feel everything. Like you feel the wins like really well, and you also feel the losses a lot, like as well.
Completely.
And that's what kind of really makes it hard. So just also knowing that your overall conviction has to be the number one thing that matters in the long run. So if you have across like a year 15, 30, even 40 like shitty days where you really doubt yourself, that's completely fine. The asterisk is if in those days you've actually found a huge flaw in what you're doing, then it's potential, like it might be time to revisit it. But if it's just like you just complaining, because most of the time the actual objection in this case, or like the actual doubt, is more so just it's just like an emotion that you're feeling in the moment.
Completely.
And it's not actually a thing that's like can be tangibly like shown. And most people from the outside wouldn't like say the same thing as well. It's just because when you're in it so much, like it can get really like rough. And so just that's something that I'm trying to learn for myself as well. Like between these like past few days, like seeing the VSLs, I was thinking like, fuck, like I was thinking about all this pressure, like I have to try to find a way to make it work, and of course I do, and I will, but it just, you know, adds a lot of weight. And some people just fold, like some people just can't do it.
Some people do fold.
Yeah, I tend to think, and I would like to think that I actually like that pressure. Like I think it's fun. And the other day I was also thinking like, fuck, this is so much harder than a lot of people make it out to be. Like there's gonna be, the other thing is social media will just like blow this all out of proportion. Like people will think that you can just start from zero and start to get 50K a month in a month, but they don't realize that the people that are advertising this on social media are like in the upper like 0.5 percentile. Here's the letter. Upper 0.5 percentile of like people who've actually been able to pull it off, right? It's like all the professional gamers out there. Like, how many people play video games? We're like 2 billion people, and there's probably 10,000 professional gamers. Like the numbers are crazy, and that's the thing that social media, like, it warps everything. And it's a double-edged sword. It can either empower you, which it should if you look at it like realistically and not compare yourself to somebody who you shouldn't compare yourself to, because they had an entire different like, you know, skill set, deck of cards. They started from a different place. And you can either like, you know, feel more motivated and take that and make something for yourself, or you can get really discouraged and think like people like Iman Gaji, who are like a year or two older than me, who's pushing like 150 million or whatever he's worth now. It's just, you know, I find it encouraging, and like honestly it's so cool to see that like that's achievable at his age if you actually do the right things. Like we were talking to one of our friends who's doing a 90-day challenge for like his business, and he's like 43 days in. And the amount of shit he's done in 43 days, it's something like a team of 5 unproductive people would take in a year. Like it's actually insane. And obviously, you know, having the experience and the knowledge to back that speed is really important too. Like he's got a lot of experience, so it makes a bit more sense that he's faster. But even then, it's like, you know, just sitting down there and, you know, putting your head down, fucking turning off the stupid phone and just grinding away works wonders.
Yeah. I think so too. I mean, even Iman, I think I was watching one of his videos not too long ago, maybe a year ago, and he was saying like he got to where he is today. He wasn't like a no-life who just sat in his room. Like he procrastinated, he had shitty days, but he just powered through and just kind of maintained, you know, somewhat of productivity over a long period of time, never gave up, and look at where he is now.
Yeah. If you are out there and you are less than 30 years old, and you don't really know what to do with your life, or you've just started your business and you just want to like find a place to chill, like that's kind of what we've created this for, like to document for ourselves and to look back with. And we're gonna just like yap and talk about whatever we are doing, and you can kind of see what it's like to go through the process of doing this, whether you're doing it alone and you want to feel like you're doing it with somebody else. Like that's kind of what this hopefully can be for you. And if you also want to see some motivation, where you just see like 2 guys who literally were like best friends in high school, went to uni, and then we're like, yep, fuck that. after they graduated, like that's kind of what we're you know, just kind of try to show you that you can do whatever you really want if you have the balls and the motivation to do it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're even gonna get this far into the video, but consider just, you know, subscribing and liking, and feel free to reach out. We're at a stage right now where we will 100% see a comment or a message, and if there's anything you want to talk about, or even just like reach out to talk to us directly, like fuck it, I'm gonna just throw it now. Like if you want to jump on a call with me just personally to talk about like your journey, if you want like some advice about something, like I'm happy to do that at this stage. And eventually, hopefully, we'll reach a point where we'll have a little bit more of a community, and it'll be harder to reach people individually. But yeah, that's that. Pretty long outro, but I think that's enough for today. I'll see you
next week. Should be next Monday.
Let's do it.